So, how do you allocate your money when you get paid? How do you allocate your money when you get your paycheck? So, a lot of us, we get paid, and then the money just flies out of our account, flies over here to the credit card and to the banks, and the insurance company flies out, and before you know it, you're broke, and it's time to go back to work again. I owe, so off to work I go. People talk about having a budget so they can go through the line item, where every penny, every nickel goes, meticulous details. But what if you don't want to go through a meticulous budget and tracking every penny, and you also don't want to be reckless and not plan for the future? What if there's a hybrid approach? Well, I'm glad you asked. We can do a an allocation plan called a 50 25 25 budget. 50 25 25 budget. Either remember, it adds up to 100, and it allows us to allocate funds to the place where we want them to go, and not have it and not have to tediously go through every line item and every penny and nickel. Okay? A lot of people talk about the 50 30 20, which is the same type of thing, but I think 50 25 25 is a little better for the majority of people, because we sometimes give too much funds, too much money to things that we want. A lot of times we confuse wants with need. So the first thing you have to realize is what's a want and what's a need. You have to be able to distinguish needs from wants. Let me add this. All of this we're talking about is take-home money. Taxes have already been paid. This is money that you take home. 50, 25, 25. The first 50%, the largest section, goes to things that we need. The first 50% and the largest 50% go to things that we need, such as we need a roof over our head. We need somewhere to live. We need a home. Whether it's mortgage that you're paying or rent, we need someplace that's safe to live. That is non-negotiable. We need someplace for us and our families to live. And that would consist of the rent and or mortgage, the insurance, the maintenance, okay, the taxes associated with where you live. Okay, that's going to be one of our largest expense. They say they say the cost of where you live should be no more than about 28%. Depending on where you live in on the coast, New York, San Francisco, it could be higher, but that's going to be part of your 50%. So where you live, you also have to consider food also is necessary. It doesn't have to be steak and lobster every day, but it has to be healthy food to maintain your health. That is necessary. Your medical insurance, most people get that through their employer. So that's going to be kind of accounted for and it's usually taken out of your payroll, right? But if you somehow maybe have your own business or something, you have to pay your own insurance, that's going to be part of things that are necessary. Your transportation to get back and forth to work, whether it's the vehicle and the cost of maintaining the vehicle, or whether it's public transportation, the train, the bus, the ferry, that's also necessary. That keeps you able to make money. So other things that may be considered necessary, maybe education for your children. Maybe you don't like the school system that you are part of, and you have to go to private school. So that'd be part of, I would say, maybe necessary. hmm So insurance, right, for the vehicle, maintenance for the vehicle, registration, right, inspection, all of that stuff, right. Now, with the place where we live, the place where we live, we know there's a wide range, right? You can live in a nice, comfortable 2, 3, 4 bedroom house, or you can live in a 20,000 square foot mansion with tennis court and pool and indoor bowling alley, right? You see what I'm saying? So what's necessary is enough for your comfort and your safety and all that. It's not anything excessively above that. So we have to know. The banks all try to do that, try to give you a bigger mortgage than you ask for. So when you qualify. Same thing with food. We don't have to eat lobster, steak every day, but it has to be healthy, nutritious food. Same thing with the transportation. Doesn't have to be a Mercedes-Benz 600, top of the line, but it has to be a safe, reliable vehicle. And please don't lease a vehicle. That's the worst way to travel. You get a car that's 1 year old or 2 years old, you pay for it in cash or mostly in cash, and you keep it for you maintain it so you maintain in good condition so you keep the car for as long as you can. You want to keep this car for 12, 15 years. You don't get a new car every 3 years or a new lease. No, we're not doing that. We off that. So this is your necessary portion. Now we go to our wants. Wants maybe we wants would include entertainment, right? We go to the movies on the weekend, or wants would include your entertainment. So we go to the movies on the weekend, or we take a vacation twice a year, or birthday we give gifts. We go out to dinner maybe once a month or so. So these would be under the section of wants. There's maybe certain clothes that you would have. Okay, I would add that in the need portion. I would add a phone. Okay, it doesn't have to be top of the line. It doesn't have to be a new phone every 2 years, right? But I would add a phone. Your entertainment I would include in the wants, right? So whether it's Netflix, I would include that in the wants because you don't really need that. You want that for your entertainment, so I would include that under want. Now the other 25% would be your savings / investing. So under this portion would be anything that you have saved and invest. So if you are investing in your company sponsored 401k, that would be part of your 25%. If your employer is contributing also, that would be part of your saving and investing, but it's not coming from you. So if you save 10%, if you invest 10% in your 401k and your company adds another 5%, so that's 15% being invested, but you only put 10. All right. So that's why you always want to save and invest up to the match because that's free money. You want to get that. If you have an IRA, whether it's a Roth or traditional, that'll be part of your saving and investing portion as well. If you have a taxable brokerage account, also part of your saving and investing. And if you have money that you save, put aside for the emergency fund, that's also part of the money that you're saving in your 25%, right? Obviously, an emergency fund is something we're going to have probably before this. And once you have that set, you can kind of leave that there and just continue to add into your 401k, your IRA, your taxable brokerage account, and that's how you do it. So I think this is a more user-friendly idea because it takes away the nickel and diming and just the stress of every penny got to be accounted for, and it accomplishes the same thing. It gets the job done. So this is a nice framework for us to know where every dollar should be going. Okay, so a dollar comes in, and the 50 cents is going to your needs, 25% is going to your wants, and then 25% is going to your savings and investing. I think that's an absolute excellent approach for us to have. People can adjust as necessary. So if you live in a lower cost area for whatever reason, or maybe you got your mortgage paid off or whatever, or your housing is less than normal, maybe you take the excess and invest it. Or but the excess goes to some wants. It's up to you, right? So if your needs are only 40%, that extra 10% you can maybe invest, and maybe you can invest 35%, and you can get to financial freedom sooner, right? So you have flexibility, right? Or split it, right? If your need is only 40% and you have extra 10%, take the extra 5 and put 5 to your wants and 5 to your needs, right? This is called personal finance, called personal. So I hope this gives us a nice framework in which to approach our personal finance. Again, guys, the MD Investor bringing you another video so we can increase our financial IQ and teach our children and break the cycle of generational poverty. MD Investor out. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube